Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm your OLC in current trends and issues. So if you attended the previous sessions last September 4 and 7, you don't need to join with this session. So iba yung session ni Sir. So we are two in this OLC in this subjects. We are, Sir Emmanuel also is your OLC. So I did discuss ni Sir Emmanuel, which is yung module 7 and 9, and me, I will discuss to you the module 5 and 6. So if you didn't attend for those sessions, yung last sessions, you can join here. Okay. So all of you didn't attend the module 5 and 6. Lahat ba hindi naka-attend ng module 5 and 6 session last September 4 and 7?
Naka-attend po.
Okay. So,
Nung
yun.
pa-end na po, nung naka-end kami.
Pardon, hindi naka-attend or last portion lang yung na-attendan?
Pa-end na po nun.
Pa-end na. Okay. So, you can start yung session dito. Okay.
Okay po.
So module 5 and 6, I will discuss to you say modules last September 4. So this is big data and analytics. No? So I'm from Cruz, your OLC from AMEC East Rizal. Okay, so first discussing the exam schedules. So for this period, midterm na tayo, and I hope you answer also the quiz 1 and 2 of midterm period. And the midterm exam will be on September 16 to 18. So some of you nagpapa-open or naka-close pa, no? Restricted ang major exams, pero yung mga quizzes, no restrictions. So you can answer anytime yung mga quizzes. Okay? So yung midterm or prelim or final, that merong restrictions yung mga exams. So 16 to 18, midterm exam will be open. Okay. So for this course, Comp 6103, this is the course code, the current trends and issues. No? So the course description of this is more on discussion, yung current trends and information technology. So each module will explore some of the most relevant technologies and concepts today. So yung mga trends among technologies. So along with basic understanding, this course also aims to explore the benefits and challenges that come with this trends in information technology. So first discussion is more on big data. So module 5 is the big data. So before we discuss what is big data is, so we have to define first the data. So the data, which means the quantities, characters, or symbols on which operations are performed by the computer. So the one you input in your computer, the informations, your name, your full name, your age, your course, your birthday, that is what we call the data, which may be stored and transmitted in the form of electrical signals, or the flash drive, the hard drive, and recorded, in magnetic or mechanical recording media. So what I said, yung mga electrical or recording media natin, like the flash drive or hard drive. Okay. So what is a big data? So when we say big data, this is also a data, but with the huge size of data, large amount of data when we say big data. So an accumulation of data which is too large and complex for processing by traditional database management tools. So the massive collection for this big data are structured and unstructured informations. So later i-discuss natin what is unstructured and structured data. That is generated by digital computing. Next, in big data, in social media, no? So there's a lot of uses ng big data in social media, which is used nowadays, no? So the first tab for big data in social media is the Facebook, which is founded year 2004. In Facebook, daily time spent on Facebook, we have 58 minutes. Then the monthly active users for this app is 2.2 billion, and the daily active users, which is 1.4 billion. The photos uploaded daily for this app, we have 300 million, and the video views daily is 8 billion. For the second top or the big data in social media, we have the YouTube, which is founded in year 2005. Daily time spent for YouTube, we have 40 minutes, and the monthly active users is 1.5 billion. Daily active users is 30 million. The photos uploaded daily for this app is 5 billion, and the average visit length is 40 minutes. For the third large big data in social media, we have the Instagram, which is founded year 2010. So the daily time spent for this app is 53 minutes. And the monthly active users, we have 800 million. Daily active users, 500 million. And the photos uploaded daily for this app is 95 million. The stories daily is 250 million. For the fourth big data in social media, we have the WhatsApp. So WhatsApp is founded year 2010. Daily time spent on WhatsApp, we have 28 minutes. Monthly active users is 700 million. Daily active users is 320 million. And new users daily is 1 million. Messages sent daily is 43 billion. Okay. The fifth app for big data in social media, we have the Twitter, which is founded year 2006. Daily time spent for this app is 1 minute. And monthly active users, we have 330 million. Daily active users is 100 million. The tweets published daily is 140 million. New accounts daily, we have 460,000 for this Twitter account. Okay, the sixth big data in social media, we have the Snapchat, which is founded year 2011. Daily time spent on Snapchat, we have 49.5 minutes. The monthly active users, we have 301 million. Daily active users is 178 million. The snaps created daily is 3 billion. And the videos views daily is 10 billion. That is for the Snapchat. The seventh big data is in social media. We have the link. And at a glance, this is founded in 2002. Daily time spent for this app is 1 minute. And monthly active users, we have 200 million. Total registered users is 546 million. New accounts monthly is 5.26 million. Company pages is 20 million. So most of the companies posted here the hiring of their companies, so the needed employees. No, they uploaded some of their requirements here in link LN. So that is the use of this app. Last is the Pinterest, which is founded year 2010. Daily time spent for this is 14.2 minutes. The monthly active users is 200 million. US-based users is 70 million. So most of the users of this Pinterest is US-based. Total boards created is 1 billion. Total pins created is 100 billion. Next is the big data key enablers. What are those, what makes this big data possible? So those are three enablers. We have data storage, we have the processing capacity, we have the data availability. When we say data storage, this is the process of recording information. So we have some storage for this big data, whether is it a server, a hard drive or flash drive that you can store the informations. Okay. Next is the processing capacity. What is this? So this is what we call the operations processor. How many operations a processor can perform in a given amount of time. No? So these are the capacity of each operations or this up. No? Third is data availability, which is making data accessible to users and applications. Where is it is needed. So whenever it is needed, the data is accessible to the users. Okay, so that are the three key enablers of big data. Next, we have the categories of big data. So we have three categories of big data: the structured data, the unstructured, and semi-structured. When we say structured data, um, this has a metadata and a fixed length and format. For example, if you create a new account, you input your first name, last name, your birthday, and Gmail. So the settings of your names or your birthday is in a fixed format. For example, the name, you have 30 characters for that, and the birthday is in format date. So there is a fixed length and format of data. Next example is we have, for example, employee informations. So we have the database for this one. So the structured data, the employee ID for this example is we have 4 digits numbers. So the employee ID is a fixed in a fixed format in 4 digits only. Pag nag-excess, the data cannot read anymore the employee data. So nagkakaroon ng error. So the fixed length and format is there is there is a setting for this informations. So employee name, gender, etc. There is a settings. So that is a structured data. Next, when we say unstructured data, no organized in a readily recognizable way. So for example, there is a given information na in a paragraph format. So for example, my name is Jerry and I am 17 years old. My birthday is, so this is in paragraph format. There is no sets for birthday, for age, for full name. No? So the given data is scattered. So for example, another example is when you search in a Google. No? There is a lot of information when you search a certain word or paragraphs, or you want to, if you have a project, you want to search, for example, the word big data. So there is a scattered, or there is so many informations that are listed in your computer. So you have this unstructured data. That is one example of unstructured data. Next is semi-structured data. This is a cross between structured and unstructured data. So not completely organized. For example, given name, the age is given, so in paragraph format, and there is a link or hashtag in a certain paragraph. So when we say hashtag, the they use to identify a certain messages. So if you click that word, there is a specific topic for that. So that is the semi-structured data. Okay. So that is the categories of big data. We have the structured, unstructured, and semi-structured. Next, sources of big data. What are those? We have the social data, as what we discussed earlier. Comes from the people's online or in social media or interactions. No, so the most common apps, as what I've said earlier, the top one is the Facebook. So there is a lot of examples or uses of social media nowadays. No? So the status updates preferences, photos and videos that are uploaded in different apps. So 300, almost 300 million photos are uploaded every day on Facebook. So there is so many data uploaded in this social media. No? So there is a lot of social data in social media. Next is transactional data. When I say transactional data, this is digital records of business transactions. So more on business. And the companies have to keep records of all their transactions. No? So the database of this evaluation, for example, evaluation of the customers, they have to analyze the input or income of the certain product, no, of their company, no, the income of their company. They have this informations, no? They have to analyze these informations. So in this year, 450 billion business transactions created in the internet per day. So that is a big data. That is huge amount of data in the business. So mostly business today is more on online. So that is a billion transactions in each day. No? So that is transactional data. Next, we have the machine data. When we say machine data, this is created by computers and smart objects. So this machine data are transmitted through the wireless network and kept in servers. So most of these users of this machine data, most of the big companies have their own servers to keep the records. No, some of the schools also have these servers for their students' informations. No? So the records are kept in some network. Okay? So that is machine data. Next, we have these 5 V's of big data. What are these 5 V's? When you say 5 V's, this is a characteristic of big data. We have for this characteristic, we have volume, variety, value, velocity, and veracity. We have to discuss this one by one. What is a volume? So when we say volume in 5Vs of big data, this is refers to the unimaginable amounts of informations. For example, in every second, what is the amounts that are uploaded in social media? Okay, so that is huge amount of data. In cell phones, in cars, credit cards, the mga sensors, so images and videos, there is a certain amount for that data. So we are currently using distributed systems so to store data in several locations. So we have some of the companies or some of the founder of the some of the apps that are used in the social media. They have this software framework, no, like Hadoop. Some of the companies also use this software. So that is a volume, the amounts of information generated. Next is variety. What is a variety? This is what we discussed earlier, the structured, semi-structured, and unstructured data, which is generated in multiple varieties. So compared to the traditional data like phone numbers and addresses, this form of photos, yung mga videos and audios that you uploaded in your app, you know, in different apps, which is makes 80% of the data today is completely unstructured. So the photos, videos that you uploaded is what we call the example of unstructured data. So that is the variety. Now, when you say variety. Next, what is veracity? When we say veracity, is basically means the degree of reliability that the data has to offer. No, so, this major part of the data is unstructured and irrelevant. No? So means that big data needs to find an alternate way to filter them or to translate them out as the data is crucial in business development. So there is, for some businesses, they have some other software to use, for this veracity. So they have to use alternate way to filter some of their data. So like using the SAP, Oracle, the Python, and the other Hadoop and other software na, to filter or to translate the data. Because this is crucial sa business eh. Very delicate yung mga informations, mostly sa mga businesses. So next is the value. What is the value? This is the major issue that we need to concentrate on. And it's not just the amount of data that we store or process. It is actually the amount of valuable, reliable, and trustworthy data that needs to be stored, processed, analyzed to find insights. No? So the amount of data that we store or process is make it actually the amount of valuable, no? If it's trustworthy. By example, if you research in some Google, is it valuable, reliable by yung information that you get in the Google, no? So the data to be stored must be trustworthy. Okay? Some of data kasi that are transmitted in your research has this, for example, viruses, things like that, no? So you have to identify then the sites, no? The friendly sites. Next is we have the velocity, which refers to the speed of generation of data. So how fast, no, the data is generated and processed to meet the demands. So we have to determine the real potential in the data. So the customers wants or the clients wants, which is they want to meet their demands, they have to speed up the apps that we use in a certain apps, that we generated. So velocity, which refers to the speed of generation of data. Okay, so next we have the module 6, which is the analytics. When we say analytics, this is the multi-dimensional field that uses mathematics, statistics, and computing, which is to find meaningful patterns or knowledge from collected data. So mostly analytics, we use this in companies, businesses, or some schools, schools projects, or some in the academy, to generate some of the survey forms, So that is what we call the analytics. So different types of analytics. We have the descriptive analytics. What are these descriptive analytics? This is the interpretation of historical data to understand past events or the current state of things. So it describes data. For examples, we have members by location. For each country, in this example, we have the Asia, we have the North America. In the right side, you can see that the Asia, we have 35%. So it describes the data itself when you say descriptive analytics. Okay. For example, we have the North America, which is 21%. So it describes the graph, here. Next, we have the predictive analytics. So this is the data from the past to create predictions about future events. So it means if you collected last year data, for example, and you have to predict for the next 2 years, we have to use this predictive analytics. So we have to identify the trend in collection of data. So you can use the past data into the future years. So that is predictive analytics. Next, we have the prescriptive analytics. This is used to come up with the best course of actions. No? For example, this is takes accounts the result of descriptive and predictive analytics. So with this, which and suggest decisions options. So if you use descriptive or if you use predictive, that is what are the best actions or the best when you come up with the best result. That is what you suggest in a decision making. No, so that is a prescriptive analytics. When we say diagnostic analytics, it is used to examine the data in order to determine the reason behind an event. Why did it happen? So you have to, for example, you have to collect some of the data of the customers analysis for your or the client's analysis for your services. Then you have to examine the results. No? For example, it goes down or it goes up. What are the causes? What are the reasons behind the goes up and down of the clients? So that is a diagnostic analytics. What is so we have done with the types of analytics. Then we have to define what is business analytics. So when we say business analytics, these are the tools, no, technologies and techniques used to process data into insights that can be used by the businesses, different companies, no. So analytics. So this analytics in the business settings is more used by the different companies, no. So different companies uses this system to process the insights or the data that are gathered from the customers. So that is what we call the business analytics. So the 7-step process of this business analytics, we have the step 1, we have to define the business needs. No? Second, explore. Third, analyze. So explore and analyze the data comes with the same analysis. No, like so explore and we have to explore and analyze. Then the fourth is predict what is likely to happen for that analyzations. Then step 5, we have to optimize. Step 6, we have to make a decision and measure the outcome. Step 7, update the system with the results of the decision. So that are the business analytics 7 steps process.